Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and these are your February 2025 horoscope. February is the prelude to the most intense period of 2025, which will be March and April, because all the planets will be passing through Pisces and Aries in March and April, going retrograde, eclipses, changing signs. Oh, so exciting. But February is the preparation month with some very positive effects that we'll receive from the universe. First of all, it's Jupiter is turning direct. Here it is, my calendar, my 2025 calendar. You can have it now. It's 200 pages, almost interactive. But first of all, Jupiter around the 4th turns direct. And this is a great blessing. When Jupiter turns direct, here is the text for it, but you can start seeing results and rewards for previous actions. We can get the blessings from above, resolutions of moral problems of some sort, just the turning of the winds. Jupiter becomes much more stronger. I call it like double Jupiter when it starts turning direct, because it's energy, it's basically stationary pretty much the whole of February around the 11th 12 degrees of Gemini, and it's a very auspicious degree because right behind Jupiter, where it's turning direct and it's going to become stronger and things will start moving forward for us, it's the most auspicious star in the sky, the star Aldebaran, which in ancient astrology is the star of wealth, of blessings, of fortune. So this is a good omen for the finances of the world. Jupiter is turning direct there. So hopefully, generally, all of us will see some financially, some improvement in your personal life. It will depend where it affects you, what kind of blessings this Jupiter with Aldebaran will bring. The bullseye, the luckiest star. But yes, that's the one good side of it. And we're going to have Venus entering into areas where it's going to stay 3 months, the whole of February, the whole of March, then it skips April, and the whole of May. So when Venus is so long in a sign, it's going to give us blessings there in certain area of our life. Think back to 2017 around the spring. There was a similar situation there, but I'll go through each of the 12 signs to see. Venus always improves and makes better whatever area it passes through, despite of its retrograde motion, which will start in March. Its final goal is to make something perfect, more balanced, more worthy of our time, more pleasant, more easy to receive help there in some way, to improve it, to make it better. So certain areas of your life you're going to be making better and improving. And another big event is that Mars is turning direct towards the end of February, 23 degrees. It's been retrograde December, January, most of February. As I said, I expect this Mars retrograde to bring changes, corrections of the prices of real estate, of borders, of countries, and maybe stalling back wars because Mars is moving retrograde in some way. But there will be kind of like maybe endings of fights, of battles, or easing off of difficulties in such areas. If there was problems, they start getting fixed. If there was inflammatory conditions, flus, hopefully will become less so, and energy and productivity will increase. You might see the results of working hard on something and starting to see the results of it. And emotionally, people will not be as tense and so sensitive and touchy as they are during Mars retrograde. But that's mostly towards the end of the month that we'll see those improvements. And the other big event that is happening is the North Node with Neptune. We've never seen this in our lifetime, and we'll never see it again, because Neptune will never be again in Pisces, and North Node with Neptune in Pisces is once in a lifetime experience. They're joining together. The whole February, March is under its influence. They're within a degree all the time together. It's going to get surreal, guys. Neptune is otherworldly planet. Pisces is otherworldly energy. North Node, wherever it goes and joins Neptune in Pisces, it's like you're in some LSD trip. Some of you will be waking up and wondering, do I live on Earth, or what is this different reality? I'm a parallel world of some sort. You'll see it maybe on the news that it's a lot of new energy. North Node starts a new cycle with Neptune for which will be 16 years old, but it's very Piscean. It's unfamiliar. Pisces is unfamiliar. It feels foreign. It's very different. You're waking up in a new world, in a new reality. This will happen in your personal life as well. And also intuition will be through the roof this month. People will be dreaming about past events, past life, future events, because the wall between the worlds thin with this really like a portal to another dimension, Neptune and North Node together. So in some areas of your life, depending where it falls from your ascendant, sun or moon, you might have like epiphanies. God might show you directly through your third eye or through intuitions and hunches and inspirations, some secrets that were revealed for you and that you'll become aware of. But also there is a negative side to Neptune North Node, because all the negative vibrations of Pisces and Neptune can escalate through the North Node. Fears, blame, guilt, fear of the unknown, this kind of low vibrational emotions that is just fears, paranoia, suspicions as well, victimhood states. And so be careful, stay at the high vibrations the whole 2 months, February and March. I would advise you, if you can listen to classical music, to bring in the high vibrations of Neptune, North Node, Pisces, be around nature more, have introspective time alone. We're going to have a lot of Pisces planets, as you can see, not just February, but March and April. So many planets will be there. It's going to be crazy. So this inner work and introspection is good to do, but something magical can come through Neptune North Node, because they open portals to the astral. If you're connected to the high astral, if you're naturally forgiving, kind person, if you can let go of the past, if you can let go of things that no longer serve you, you can have like a divine gift of blessing. Neptune is divine love, unconditional love, and divine grace. And the North Node enhances it in Pisces. So like a miraculous events and even actual miracles, I don't know, Fatima scale can happen around the world, but in your personal life as well, where you're freed from karmas you've been carrying for a long time. Pisces is the last time of paying off the karma. Neptune is also the same energy. The North Node is, kind of escalates all this. So you pay off some debt and you're freed from something. A miracle happens in your life. Like God gives you through unconditional love, not because you deserve it, because God is loving, the Creator is loving. If you turn towards in a prayerful condition, an introspective condition, if you give yourself time after you wake up to go within, there can be some true miracles that happen. And just dreams will be crazy. Just to warn you, Neptune with the North Node, you might be dreaming of things that very vivid dreams that come to the surface, sometimes almost real. Like, just be aware, maybe a bit more rest in February and in March with the so many Pisces energies. But Mars is turning direct, so things will start becoming. But Mars turns direct at the end of February, and Venus and Mercury turn retrograde in March. So it's non-stop February, March. So January, February, March, April. After April, things start becoming much more smoother, guys. But just the preparation phase, and use the Piscean energy of Neptune and the North Node to manifest. And Saturn is there. Neptune is a high ideal. Connect yourself to high refined feelings through art, through music, through imagining how you want things to be, the ideal version of it. And Saturn is there, can make it happen over the next 2-3 months to manifest it. Use this connection to the higher world, so otherwise you don't want to connect to the inner fears, the lower astral, and deception. You have to be careful with Neptune North Node. There'll be many charismatic figures that appear, prophets, gurus, saviors of the world. Neptune Pisces is to save, and people feel very excited about that. But the bubble will quickly burst if such figures are not truthful and aligned to divine order, whether they're rulers, leaders, or people in your personal life. If they're promising you the moon and the stars, which these halls will be very high in February, March, because in April, the North Node and Saturn join together. So the bubble will burst. Saturn is a corrective influence down to earth, And if you don't see results, you have to correct something, or you see the lies, or if it was like a proper inspirational figure or idea you had, you can start manifesting it towards April. This ideal that comes to you now, this inspiration that you divinely download. So wow, what a magical, what a surreal, what another worldly energy we are gonna have. It's gonna get weird, it's gonna get fantastic, it's gonna get intense emotionally. And let's dive into the 12 signs. If you want my personal horoscope for each of the 12 signs for 2025, I'm putting a link below. Each 2.5 hours for each sign. I've poured my soul and heart in them. We sold thousands so far, no refunds, no one has asked for one. People are loving them. If you want to try for your personal sign, I recommend Ascendant. And if you want all 3 Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, it's a discount price. Putting a link below, or the calendar, so you know what is happening every day of the year. But now let's begin for the 12 signs. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, February 2025. Scorpio, there is a lot of planets this month in water, which are supporting you because you're a water sign. Mars is in Cancer. Neptune North Node joining in Pisces. Saturn, Mercury are there, making trines to you. And yes, these are more difficult planets, Saturn, Mars, making trines, but the trine aspect is, yes, there will be still some difficult things you have to do, but you have a purpose and meaning to do them. You know, when we have to do something difficult, but we don't see the reason why, it's like, why me, God? But there is this feeling that even if there is some efforts you have to put in towards something, because these are 5th and 9th house, the houses of meaning, of connecting to purpose, you're doing it with focus and inspiration. And it's telling me that for you Scorpios, there will be and Saturn and Mars are making trines to each other the whole month, and especially towards those degrees, the 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 degrees where Saturn and Mars are sending those middle degrees. They'll have a lot of strength in them to do something difficult with a vision, to get work done. So those more difficult planets are not affecting you negatively unless they make a difficult aspect to some other planet in your horoscope. But despite of that, the trines from Saturn and Mars this month, and in March and in April, they continue to do this. They are supporting you in getting things done and mobilizing your energies in the right way. These are righteous houses, not 5th, 9th. So you mobilize difficult energy for a good, righteous purpose. And especially if your goals are aligned to your higher self, they're aligned to goodness in some way, to doing something productive, constructive, you will receive a lot of help from the universe. And yes, Mars is retrograde most of the time of the month, and it only turns direct towards the end of the month, but still it is helping from the 9th house, and it's making you still revise some of your belief system, deconstruct them, and improve them. That's the ultimate goal of a retrograde planet. And yes, there might still be some delays with 9th house matters, papers, documents for foreign travel, for some studies, changing direction for studies to your beliefs, and questioning those matters. But it starts all improving at the end. If there's legal matters as well, towards the end of the month and into March, they start improving, moving forward. If there were some complications with father figures, with educational matters as well, or travels in some way, they start improving towards the end of the month when Mars turns direct. And there is a big conjunction, very rare, once in 15 years, I think, between the North Node and Neptune, or 16 years, something like that. And it's starting a new cycle in your 5th house there. So they might, and this is very inspirational house. This is the house where we connect to our creativity, to our original thinking, original thought, or inspiration from God, as we call it. And Neptune North Node can starting a new cycle there over the next 2-3 months. A new idea might be born within your mind. It might be idea for business, idea for anything that inspires you, idea for the birth of some creative original idea. The fifth house is the desire to build your kingdom according to the way you want. And Neptune North Node can help those dreams manifest, can make you the inspiration come. And if you're a creative person, writer, someone who creates content, uh, if you're a teacher, you have to be very creative when you're a teacher. If you're an educator in any sort, if you're in any sort, have your own business where you have to use your original thinking and creative ideas to lead it. This North Node Neptune conjunction, which enhances the qualities of the fifth house, the inspirational one, you can download great ideas. You can connect to higher manifestations of your creativity, more original ways of doing it. And the fifth house is house of love. We feel most connected to life and most inspired when we're in love, or when we're most happy, when we're in love, when we're creating something, not passive consumers. That's a different thing. That's pleasure more than this joy of existence is when you're involved in a hobby, in some creative process, when you're in love is the highest, or when you have children, connecting to the children is the sense of this is love on another level. And what is Neptune? Is divine unconditional love as well, and the North Node just enhances it. So having North Node and Neptune there can open the gates of your heart a bit. I know Saturn is also there. It might have been hard to connect to the joy of life, the flow of life, and those life-giving activities. But North Node and Neptune create a gate now that connects you to this inspiration, that connects you to this love. And for some of you, it might be even love coming to you. And it will be more spiritual, more Neptunian, more unconditional love, or yes, it has a low vibration that you might be misled by someone very charismatic, very promising you the moon and the stars, but there is a lot of good heart openness from you if love is coming to embrace it. And if there is some corruption there or something unpure and dishonest, it will quickly be corrected over the next 2-3 months, because the North Node will join with Saturn, the corrective planet, to show you if there is something unrealistic there romantically, if there is something not so honest, for example. But now this month you're being asked to open your heart, to welcome the gifts, because North Node and Neptune in Pisces can be divine grace that comes to you through love, through a child, through creative process, through opening yourself to creativity like music, almost spiritual creativity. Fifth house in ancient astrology rules spiritual practices, because spiritual practices are for self-improvement. And the North Node and Neptune are in a self house, another water house, the ninth, the fifth, your first house are self houses of self-improvement. So they can be this inspiration to do something, maybe to take up a sport or a hobby or meditation or spiritual practice that will anchor you in yourself for a healthier ego, for a healthier identity. And it's through gentle vibration. Neptune and the North Node, it can be like picking up swimming, starting to dance, to draw, being around contact with nature or animals, but it's something that will fortify your self-love, not in an egoistical way, but fortify your self-esteem, your connection to source, your creativity, your self-confidence. And again, as I said, if there is something unrealistic there, it will be corrected. Also, some new creative ideas can come to you. As I said, it might be a project that you think of. It might be an inspiration to do something. Be open to it, because there is a lot of divine grace coming to you from it. And it's training you after all. I don't think it's going to be harmful. And fifth house, it's also connected to holidays, having fun, maybe go to somewhere where you're near the ocean. The North Node enhances this Neptune. And Mars, Saturn being there, maybe near mountains and ocean, or desert and ocean, or holiday somewhere in a retreat, which is Neptune energy, to to do more spiritual things. I don't know. But it is romantic influence, and whoever is their time, it might just activate the Neptune, the North node there. Or if you're already in a relationship, you can open yourself to more enjoyable time where you merge romantically with your partner as well. Or it can be like a divine grace for a child for some of you. I don't know. Yes. All right. So this is the fifth house. The ninth house we covered. Let's get to the benefics now. But they're not in so easy houses for you. But Jupiter from the beginning of the month is turning direct for you. And when Jupiter turns direct, I call it that it has like two Jupiters, double strength. And because it's stationary, when a planet is stationary, it has more gravitas, more power. And that's why I put another Jupiter there. Jupiter, though, is not very strong in Gemini. So it can still bring good stuff, but it's not going to be like blowing your mind. But still, if you had some delays in receiving resources or support from government, if you're expecting, or some, for example, some of you might get a tax money back, or you might get some, some increase in alimony or money that comes to you through others. If there were delays with money for your business coming from clients, for example, because this is other people's resources, it might start coming. Or if there's been a delay for a loan or mortgage or something connected to payments to something, it might start getting easy and more positive. And Jupiter is becoming direct on a very fortunate star, Aldebaran, very close to it. So you might, some of you who have it already as a given natally in your horoscope might benefit from another or from investment. Maybe you've invested in something and now the stock starts going up and you make some profit. And Jupiter will be in your 8th house for the next 4 months till June. Or maybe your partner, if they have financial situation or difficulties, now things start improving, and till June they should be in a better situation, which impacts you financially also as well. 8th house is intimacy. Jupiter can allow you to have more intimacy there when it starts turning direct. And it's almost in a way that's merging together, that's healing. And even sometimes the 8th house can do with secrets and things that are a bit more shocking to us. Something secretive that comes to the surface, but Jupiter brings light to it, enlightens you about it, and heals it. Because secrets make us sick, makes us, especially unsavory ones, but they make us sick and they fester. But now Jupiter can heal some of the traumas when it starts turning direct. You can have a change of heart about certain complicated situation connected to obsession, to your inner demons, to some traumas from the past, that you're able to pass through that bridge on the other side of the bridge. Not saying you're dying, but it's like a rebirth. 8th house is the house of regeneration, death, and rebirth. And Jupiter really speeds up the vibration there from February onwards for the next 4 months. So it can speed up the vibration of your chakras. So healing can happen more easily on the physical body because you're releasing stagnant emotions and unprocessed psychological issues from the past, and then the body heals as well. Or you can have a resolution to a psychological issue as well. Release from grief as well, or starting to improve of grief, of loss, is also the 8th house. Or even the 8th house sometimes is connected to divorces or bankruptcies or such kind of deaths, some more extreme things. But if you've gone through something like that recently, or some shock in your life, let's say, some reversal in your life, Jupiter starting to move direct with double strength there next to a very fortunate star, says that there is a silver lining about that you're going to discover. Either there is healing of this trauma that's starting to come, or you're starting to see, for example, sometime from a divorce, you can receive something beneficial, or, or you can start feeling the freedom from it, from coming out of a dark tunnel kind of energy, I can compare it to. But also you can receive money from another or from the universe, or some kind of support for investments if you're trying to get sponsorship or investment for something. Now from February, in the next 4 months, you can get it. Some financing, or you can start making more money through clients or through other people, as I said, or getting some relief with taxes or some wise counsel about, and hidden money is the 8th house. You can receive hidden money, like unexpected from somewhere, or from some hidden resources. I don't know, you think about it. Intimacy can improve sexually, because this is the place where we connect on a deep level with another. And we see there's strong planets in the 5th house, which is falling in love or romantic connection. 8th house is on a deeper level. It's this when you merge together your finances, your resources, your body, your energies. And it could be almost like a healing process for some of you here. And it's not necessarily sexually connecting with another, but Jupiter turning direct in the 8th house can allow you to open your heart and trust others a bit more and receive. When you trust others and ultimately the universe, you can receive those hidden treasures from others or from the universe when you're not like suspicious. And you as Scorpio has this tendency to be a bit suspicious, to not trust the motivations of others. But now Jupiter in the 8th house is healing you from some of those energies, and when it's turning direct, it's allowing you to open up your receptivity to others and to the good things that can come to you through others. So even sometimes it's like receiving and being open to ask for support, to overcome an addiction, to overcome a difficult situation, to get yourself out of a stuck situation. Might be as simple as asking for help from someone and receiving it, asking for moral support and receiving, asking for financial as well and receiving it. So there you go. There, oh, Jupiter in the 8th house turning direct can mean realization of deep truths or finding secrets that liberate you in some way. It's also connected to intimacy, and as I said, and 8th house is when Jupiter was in my 8th house, I met the love of my life, because 8th house is another of the relationship houses, about opening yourself and intimacy. Even Astrology Victor says it's soulmate connections. Who knows? Some of you who are this, there are other activations, and we have here the 5th house, they can be that as well for you. Or just releasing and leaving behind Jupiter turning direct in your 8th house, some traumas, blockages from the past that you are upset about, that you couldn't let go and release, and now you start moving away from them and start raising the vibration gradually. And Venus will be for the next 3 months, April, so February, March, and May, because it skips April, it comes back to the 5th house, where it puts even more energy into this 5th house that we talked about. But it will be the majority of the time in your 6th house. Venus is a benefic, so it wants to improve the conditions of your work environment, maybe the relationships with colleagues, maybe to start on some work project that you're really enjoying, that you're really passionate about, which is love, And if you're not in a job that you can enjoy, or that your heart is not in, when Venus goes retrograde in March, you try and find a way how you can look at it in a way that you enjoy it more, like it more, or you might have to change even something there, or change it, the whole profession. Also, there can be more support from colleagues, so people that work for you, employees of any sorts, as well, with Venus there. You can also enjoy more, because Venus is what you take pleasure in, and you can teach yourself to enjoy some healthy stuff, because 6th house is how we take care of our health. Yes, Venus is not very strong in Aries, but it's proactive there, so you can proactively look for ways to try and enjoy some health routines. For example, you might not enjoy kale and such kind of stuff, but you might proactively try and develop love to make a smoothie out of it and add something healthy towards you that you start enjoying, or add some, maybe you don't enjoy exercising, but with Venus there, you can make it enjoyable, more pleasurable. So you can enjoy some slow yoga, whatever, or something that you find on walks, or whatever it is, something that you add to your daily health routine that improves your health overall, and that you start loving it and being excited about it. Venus is the planet of serotonin, to bring you more serotonin and so on. All right, so there you go, Scorpio. But you see, the majority of energy is in water houses, which are self houses of self-improvement, of following your inspiration, feeling strong in some sense as well. So yeah, and when Mars turns direct, you're ruled by Mars, you start thinking that even if things were slowed down before or complicated or you are confused about something, you start clarifying, getting a clarity about your future, where you're heading towards, what you want to do towards the end of the month and especially March, April onwards. Thank you.